Shabbat Shalom. Our Torah portion this week speaks to us so very personally. As Moses continues his long speech that takes up most of Deuteronomy, he is both excited for us and he's deeply worried. When you enter the land that your God is giving you as a heritage, he begins. These next few sentences that Moses utters are so incredibly full of possibilities, and each time we read them, we can hear something different. You can take a look at the exact words Moses says by going to Deuteronomy 26. Moses instructs the people that when they enter the land, they have to bring the first fruits, the best that they have, an offering to God. And they need to recite a series of phrases that Moses gives them. First, they should say to the priest to whom they're bringing the sacrifice, "I acknowledge this day before your God that I have entered the land that God swore to our fathers to give to us." And by the way, I'm going to address this first part here, and you can check out my Instagram page if you want to see more. How do we climb inside this phrase? Why is it the first thing that Moses is giving us to say and to do? And what's going through Moses' mind and heart as he grants the people this ritual? The question is, what happens when you get what you wish for? And what happens when you watch someone else get what they wish for? I know that a part of Moses is heartbroken and a part of him is hopeful. The second that people get what they wish for, they forgot how they got there. It's human nature, and Moses is heartbroken because he is watching human nature play out. He knows that they will say, "We made it," or "I made it. I don't need God anymore. Thanks, I'm going to move on." But he knows that this is precisely when the people are going to need God the most. How do I know that he's heartbroken by this? My subtext here is watching my own people make this choice. One example, I'm imagining a family who leaves their Jewish community in the temple after their child becomes bar or bat mitzvah. We did it. We sacrificed and we got our kid through this, and now we don't need it anymore. I've seen how this plays out in people's lives. There's a death in the family, and suddenly there's the shock of realization that they have a need for community, only there's no Jewish community to show up. The relationships are not there. That's only one part of the equation, because in truth, many people do come back at such times, and like an old friend to whom you haven't spoken in a while, your synagogue community is always waiting for you to return, and we can pick up where we left off. But Moses is afraid of something else. It's exactly when you get what you wish for that you need to dive more deeply into spiritual life, not away from it. We need God and community to do two things. First, we're reminded that we did not get here on our own, and this is the antidote to arrogance and hubris. Second, we're reminded that our own opinions are not the only ones in the room. Community is not merely your friend group. It is not a safe cocoon where everyone basically thinks the same thing, agrees with you, and even loves you. Community is a multifaceted place with opposing views, challenging and different people who you want to spend time with, and maybe some people you don't. But your Jewish community is a place that ultimately holds the same values and will stand with you no matter what. It is a place that broadens our perspectives on life and challenges the sacred cows we hold onto. And therefore, it is a place that makes us better. So Moses is desperate for the people to understand this, because he's not going to be there to help them through it. When you come into the land, when you get where you're going, bring the best of yourself to God and to your community. Do not walk away. If you stay, you will remember who you are. If you stay, you will become better for the challenges to your opinions. If you stay, you will be held here. I know I'm preaching to the choir here. If you're watching this, then you're likely a member of Temple Judea or a part of our larger community. Even if that is so, then I urge you to be an ambassador for what it means to tie yourself to a community. Bring your friends to synagogue for a service with our extraordinary musicians, one of whom happens to have won a Grammy Award. Bring them to participate in community service with us, or to learn with us, or to come to our renowned Tot Shabbat. Anything. And if you are a part of our community, and you come to the temple physically, not so much, mostly that you watch it on the live stream, come here. Your presence matters. We love that you are receiving content from us, but we, your community, need to also receive content from you. Just by showing your face. Just by showing your face, you make us all stronger. I know also that Moses is hopeful. Our sages, unlike the prophets who just shouted their messages into the world, held as a sacred principle that if your words are not going to make an impact, then it is actually a mitzvah not to say them. So Moses must have believed that these words would change the hearts and minds of his people. I hope you will hear this message from my heart as well. Shabbat Shalom.